All right, guys, welcome to part 3 of the video. We are now on law number 7. Avoid upscaling in any particular area of human life, the creation of systems, infrastructure, and product creation, and even population expansion that could cause the reduction of guaranteed dignity for all. There must be a cap on how many people can live in any designated area until it becomes unmanageable. And we see this all the time in places where they try to push for overpopulation. The infrastructure is not ready for it. It causes problems. And eventually it causes racism, or it causes all kinds of things. We've seen this in America, but we've seen this if you've lived in other countries. We had the gypsy problem in Italy, where people really did not like the gypsies. And we really did not like people coming from neighboring countries into Italy because, we just don't have enough resources to take care of everyone. And again, these people end up being homeless. They can't be part of the system. They don't learn the language. So it takes a certain amount of years to learn a language, to become integrated into the system. And you can't have illegal immigration. You need to be legal so that you can have it done slowly and make it work for everybody. This is not fair to the illegals that are coming in. And this is not fair to the people who are actually legally in the country. So you have to take responsibility for both sides and make it work for both sides, right? Number 8, provide basic safety nets for people who, for whatever reason, lose their job and are no longer considered employable by the capitalist market. Number 9, universal basic income should be a human right paid by the government in food stamps and Bitcoin, which wouldn't mess with inflation and cause problems with economy or national debt because it would be a separate system. Basic health care and principles of how to live healthy lives should be provided. Obamacare, at least in states where people are being taxed to death, like blue states. We should have it. Number 11, killing humans is forbidden. Eating humans is forbidden. 13, torturing humans is forbidden. 14, sexually assaulting humans is forbidden. 15, pedophilia is forbidden. 16, early sex change is forbidden. It takes a good 30 to 40 years to figure out who you are and who you really love. So we shouldn't be forcing this upon youngsters, especially because, and I'll go into it in more detail in a second, if and when you figure it out, by all means, get surgery, but leave kids alone. Unfortunately, we do not yet have the technology that exists in the TV series Altered Carbon. I very much would like you to watch that series so you would understand what I'm talking about. When that becomes available, then we can have the conversation about how early someone can transition, because making the switch becomes a fully biological switch and not a partially biological switch that, by the way, with our current technology is irreversible, unlike the fictional TV series. So since we need to live in our current reality, a sex change is permanent and could ruin someone's life completely should they jump the gun and make too early a transition. On a different note, when it comes to jails and men wanting to make the transition to female, I feel that that's a great idea, because folks who end up in jail for rape are far less dangerous without a banana than with one. So as far as I see it, it is a bonus if biological males who cause trouble in society go to jail as a man and exit as a female. Less banana and less testosterone in our society in general equals more peace. 17, one job needs to be enough to pay rent and live a life with dignity. Everyone who wants to work and meets a minimum criteria of being able to do so should be able to work, unlike today where so many barriers are created. We also don't want what happens to so many people. Some people wake up at 3 in the morning, they get on a bus, then they reach their place of business and they start doing prep work for, let's say, a bakery. So they're working, they're mixing stuff, they're preparing things, and then they start their bread making and all that stuff. Maybe they end their job at around 5:30, they get on another bus, and then they go to a restaurant and they start peeling potatoes, doing prep work and all that stuff. And then they continue working until it's about noontime. And then they go to the fields, and now they may be picking berries or whatever until it's pretty late. Maybe it's 7, 8 o'clock. So they go to the next job where they're working security, as a busboy like a bouncer, not a busboy, as a bouncer in front of a club or something like that, or maybe they're just working at a parking lot as doing that. 4 jobs. They need 4 jobs to make a decent living. We need to stop that. Maybe that's something you like, and if that's your American dream, you do you, brother. But I don't want people to have to do 4 jobs in order to be able to pay your taxes and live a comfortable life and be able to, put your kids through work, through school and all that stuff. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is really not the American dream, but that is the reality for many people. 18. The human body does not belong to humans, or at least not until we have the technology that we need for that. But for now, human body does not belong to humans. It belongs to the creator of this realm of which we reside. Human beings embody or exist within this meat suit and inevitably need to let it go eventually. Brian Johnson, the Sugar Queen, and Peter Diamandis are working hard to find ways to prolong our existence, but for the time being, eternal life here is not yet a thing for the common man. Due to this fact, it is not okay for any human being to play God and force other people to play objects, right? To place objects, to place chemicals, to basically to control our body without our consent. So come on, this is very important. 19, only a woman has a choice to make decisions on what happens to her body, and men should stay out of it. Number 20, only a man has a choice to make decisions on what happens to his body, and women should stay out of it. But again, when we have somebody who put women's rights, gave women's right back to the states, you can expect in future elections, if we don't reverse that immediately, that our male biological rights will go to the states. It's just common sense. It will happen unless we reverse this. 21. Freedom of speech is king. Freedom of assembly needs to be a thing. Freedom of press needs to be a thing. The right to participate in a religion, believe in a God or not, needs to be a thing. Number 25, do not steal. Number 26, do not lie. Number 27, do not hide the truth. Number 28, do not have double standards for things. Number 29, do not hide technology designed to improve the human condition. There is so many awesome things that we are not using on purpose, like cold fusion, over unity, free energy, and a bunch of other things that we're basically sweeping under the rug, pretending like they don't exist, because we were pushing fossil fuels, which keep us stuck in forever wars and all kinds of bad stuff that has to do with the plutocracy that I keep coming back to. Number 30, referendums in order to get people to make important decisions on whether there should be a war or not need to happen. The government can't just do what they've been doing. They've hijacked all of our lives. They start wars that we don't want. If you go around and you ask the general population, do you want to start a war? They're all like, no. Like 90% of people. No, we don't want war. And they do it without our consent. You can't have plutocrats just start wars willy-nilly just to balance the national debt. Again, the national debt is a big problem. Used against we the people. 31. Stop the existence of the omnibus. Each new law or idea that is on the ballot must be voted on separately. This omnibus stuff is ridiculous, and it is a danger to our democracy. If you want to talk about a danger to democracy, the omnibus has to go. All right, we're at 32, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.